Welcome to Jagoff Game Reviews. I'm Ron Prysak.
Sam Green.
And for our review here, we want to talk about Star Wars X-Wing Miniatures game.
And as we're doing that, I'm going to mention that while we're doing this right before Christmas, and we're drinking some local brew. It's St. Nicholas Bock by Penn Brewery out of Pittsburgh. And that also, I'm wearing my traditional Christmas sweater here, done by wonderfulwoot.com here, 2013 edition of the Christmas sweater t-shirt. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everyone.
All right, well, let's get to just a quick thing about how the game is, show you a little bit about it, and then we'll come back. Okay, so we have a quick setup here showing a TIE Fighter, an X-Wing, and YT 1300, otherwise known as the Millennium Falcon. Just a basic setup here. To start any game, you would have cards, and in this case I have an X-Wing card piloted by Luke Skywalker, which is reflected here on this cardboard base underneath the X-Wing. And it has the stats, your pilot rating, which in this case an 8, higher is better. Here's the attack dice number, 3, defense dice, and then you have your shields here at blue. Alright. Finally, Luke has a special ability. There are other cards, and every ship has cards. With generic pilots, it just simply have flavor text. In this area you have actions that can be taken. This eyeball indicates a focus action. The crosshair is a target lock. Down here we have possible upgrades, and in this case there's some here, torpedoes. The pilot can be upgraded with an elite skill, and then a X-Wing can get an astromech droid, and of course I have R2-D2 here. Each card has a cost. Here we have Luke coming in at 28, R2 at 4. So generally games would have, say, 100 points to each side so that they can mix and match their pilots with their types of ships and any upgrades, and trying to get, say, 100 on each side, and then they would play versus each other. So on a round you would have a maneuver dial here. In this case I'm using the X-Wing one, and has various different types of maneuvers. So either the type of turn and then the distance. So there's ones, various 1s, 2s, 3s, so forth, depending on the ship, whether it's very fast, very slow, very maneuverable, will dictate the type of turns you can make and how fast you can go. We also have green maneuvers, which are very easy. There's a green maneuver there. And we have some red ones which are difficult. And a difficult maneuver obviously gives you a penalty. They would move once they've done their choice. There would be a reveal stage by pilot number. So the movement is lowest to highest on pilot score. So an 8 with Luke would move last, unless of course you have Han Solo here with the 9, and then combat afterwards, where it goes highest to lowest. So the lowest pilot skill moves first, shoots last. Highest pilot skills move last and shoot first. And Han being a 9, obviously Han always shoots first. So once we have samples here, you would measure it out, move your ship from one end of the template to the other. Alright, once all the maneuvers are done, we go into combat. We show range here. In this case, Luke is at range 3 to, say, this TIE Fighter, barring he hasn't moved. But even if he did, he's now at range 2. All right. And just to point out, we have, just to show you the little 1 maneuver. Here's a little bit longer, the 4. And so, should they fire, and if you fire at a distance of 1, you'll get a bonus attack die. If you're firing at 3, the defender gets a bonus, defense die. So attack dice are red. And let's say we'll just roll these out here. And we have a focus symbol, a blank, and a critical hit. Let's say Luke had focused. He could turn this focus to a hit if he wanted to. We've got the TIE fighter here. We'll say he's rolling these 3. Here's his defense dice. They're green. Well, check that out. Christmas. Ha ha ha. But he's got 2 blanks. Let's hope he focused so he could turn this to a dodge. Alright. But of course, that wouldn't help. He would dodge that hit. But the critical would still remain. He would take damage, which is another set of small cards. And in this case, with a critical hit, the damage has either face down, which is simply damage, which is the yellow marker indicating your hull, or it would be, in this case with critical, a face up card, and the face up has some sort of text that does damage with some sort of flavor to it, something that hurts the pilot, something that really radically cripples the maneuverability, things like that. So, as you can see, it's a quick miniatures game. Scenario based if you want, or you can simply have a dogfight. Yep, that's it. Right. Alright, so that was a quick overview, and I know, I've had a couple of these already, so this is pretty high alcohol content, isn't it?
Well, that's something like that.
That's a bit, it's a bar, yeah.
It's on to. I don't think they labeled it on this one.
Yeah, but so I really briefly went over that. There's obviously a decent amount more, but I'm a big Star Wars fan, so this is just speaking to me like nothing doing. It's beautiful. I love it. The miniatures are just crazy detailed, and I don't play this nearly as much as I'd like to. I mean, I could just keep playing this constantly. With that, love Jagoff.
I agree with the miniatures are very detailed. They are very nice. If you are a Star Wars fan, especially if you're hardcore and you can name like who's playing the flute in the bar and all that crazy stuff, you will love this game.
His name is Figrin Danan.
See, there you go. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But for myself,
we actually did not. That was not pre-planned. He said that, and I actually came up with it. We did not rehearse that whatsoever.
And with that being said, if you're a big fan, the miniatures are great. However, with my intake, the game absolutely is just horrible. I just find it to be too imprecise. But there's a lot of details, but the measurement of things, I think it leaves too much room for error. I like to be things a little more exacting. It's a very long game at times. Other than that, it's not bad. If you're a Star Wars fan, you will like it. If not, you might struggle with the liking of it a little bit.
I would like to take complete responsibility for what he experienced. When I introduced this game, I went through, instead of just having a simple shoot each other dogfight, I really wanted a story-based scenario, and I did that, and it was kind of dumb of me. I should have just showed how it worked, just did the mechanics, honestly. And so I wanted this grandiose scenario, and we got a really long game, and it just
really long is an understatement. My child is now 12. She wasn't born yet.
Yeah. So,
I don't have any kids.
So I take full responsibility for that. I think if we could do this, I would like to do it with just like, everybody has one ship, and we just to see, because I really, honestly, I like the dog fighting. I'm actually interested in just simply the maneuver where I've got my pilot and I make a little
Play it
turn.
and see what works best for you.
Yeah.
But make sure if you try a scenario, just set aside a weekend. Other than that, yeah, I think if you're a Star Wars fan, again, you'll like it. The miniatures are pretty cool. They are very detailed. It's
Yeah, they're
worth the
amazing.
extra couple of bucks to go spring for the, the different pieces and stuff like that.
And as you may have heard, this
But
is
you've been forewarned.
Yeah, this is super for what you get. This is an amazingly inexpensive miniatures game to get into. I know I bought these things, and you don't know, but
I know the cost isn't that great with them because it's, I've heard
for
some
what
good
you
things.
get, for what you get is just
So.
unbelievable.
But go out, check it out, watch a couple more reviews of it, experience it, and you may or may not like it, but it's hit or miss. You got both sides here, so have a good one.
Thank you.